iz predmeta engleskog jezika. I današnja tema će biti lične i predmetne zamjenice u engleskom jeziku. Prije da počnemo, treba da znate da kada budem postavila neko pitanje za koje treba da razmislite ili kad budete imali neki primjer ili rečenicu da zapišete, pauzirat ćete video i onda kada završite sa pisanjem ili razmišljanjem, produžit ćete. So today's lesson will be about subject and object pronouns. And first let's see what we are going to learn. First we will be talking about pronouns in general. Then we will go into more details about personal pronouns. We will see what the difference is between subject and object pronouns, how to use them in sentences, and when should we use them and why. Znači, kao što sam rekla, ova današnja lekcija će biti za lične i predmetne zamjenice. Prvo ćemo vidjeti šta su u stvari zamjenice, koje su lične, koje su predmetne, kako ih koristimo u rečenicama i na kraju ćemo vidjeti zašto i kada koristimo zamjenice u rečenici. First, what are pronouns? Do you know what pronouns are? Znači, za početak, šta su to zamjenice? So, pronouns are words that replace the noun in a sentence. Znači, jednostavno, zamjenica je riječ koja zamjenjuje imenicu u rečenici. First, let's see an example. The baby is crying. In this sentence, do you know which word is the noun? Znate li, na primjer, u ovoj prvoj rečenici koja riječ je imenica? The baby is the noun in a sentence. So, as we said, pronouns replace nouns in a sentence. So, in this first example, we have the baby is crying. The baby is the noun in a sentence. So, that means we need to replace the word the baby with a pronoun. Znači, kao što smo rekli, zamjenice zamjenjuju imenice u rečenici. Rekli smo imenica je the baby, što znači trebamo zamijeniti tu riječ sa zamjenicom. I rečenica treba izgledati ovako. The baby is crying becomes it is crying. Instead of the baby, which is a noun, we use it, which is a pronoun. Now, look at this second example. Jim broke the window. Try to find the nouns in this sentence. Pogledajte ovu drugu rečenicu i nađite koje su imenice u njoj. Znači, imenice u ovoj rečenici su Jim i the window. Jim and the window are the nouns in this sentence. And we need to try and replace these two words with pronouns. Now, look at the second sentence. He didn't mean to break it. What do you think? Which two words were used instead of Jim and the window in the second sentence? And try to find them. Znači, pogledajte i ovu drugu rečenicu i pokušajte da nađete koje su te dvije riječi koje su iskorištene umjesto Jim i the window iz prve rečenice. Znači, he and it. So, the words he and it were used instead of Jim and the window, and he was used instead of Jim. It was used instead of the window. Now, what are personal pronouns? Personal pronouns are the pronouns that are used for specific persons or objects. So when we have a specific person or an object in a sentence, we can replace that a person or object with a pronoun. You should write this definition in your notebooks. Now, as you can see, here we have lists of subject and object pronouns, which are personal pronouns. Write this down in your notebooks as well. So, as you saw in the list before, the personal pronouns are divided into subject and object pronouns, and now we will see what is the difference between them. So subject pronouns are the ones replacing the subject in the sentence, while object pronouns are the ones replacing the object in a sentence. As you can see, the subject in a sentence is the one doing the action, while the object in a sentence is the one acted upon. Znači, kao što možete da vidite u ovo objašnjenje, subjekt je onaj predmet ili osoba koja u rečenici vrši neku aktivnost, dok objekt je onaj predmet ili osoba koja trpi tu aktivnost. I da pogledamo prethodni primjer. Jim broke the window. So let's see this example once more. In this example, we already said the nouns are Jim and the window. But can you find which noun is the subject and which noun is the object? Znači, već smo vidjeli da u ovoj rečenici Jim, the window su imenice, ali možete li naći koja od ove dvije imenice je subjekt, a koja objekt? Jim is the subject in the sentence because Jim is the one who is doing the action, while the object is the window because the window is the thing that is acted upon. Jim, as the subject, is acting upon the window by breaking it. Now, how do we use these pronouns? So now I will show you a couple of more examples where you should first find the nouns, decide which one of them is the subject and which one is the object, and then replace them with subject and object pronouns. Znači, sada ću vam dati nekoliko primjera u koje vi prvo treba da pročitate rečenicu, nađete imenice u njoj i onda odlučite koja od te dvije imenice je subjekt, a koja objekt i onda da ih zamijenite sa zamjenicama. The first example is Sarah called Mark. Which words here are the nouns? We have Sarah and Mark. Sarah and Mark are the nouns. Which noun here is the subject and which is the object? Sarah is the subject of the sentence and Mark is the object. So Sarah, being the subject, is the one calling Mark, while Mark is the one being called, being an object. Znači, Sarah u ovaj slučaj je subjekt, ona je ta koja poziva Marka, dok Mark je objekt koji je pozvan. Znači, on ne radi aktivnost, već ta aktivnost se odrazuje na njega. Sada, razgledajte listu koju ste malo prepisali u vaše sveske i odlučite koje zamjenice treba da iskoristite. Now look at the list that you wrote before and decide which subject or object pronouns you should use for these two nouns. The answer is she and him. She would be used instead of Sarah well, him will be used instead of Mark, and the sentence would be she called him. Now let's go on to the next example. Sarah gave her parents a present. First, find two nouns as well, two specific persons or objects. We have Sarah and her parents. Which part here is the subject and which is the object? Sarah is the subject of the sentence, while her parents is the object of the sentence. Sarah is the one doing the action, she is giving the present, and her parents is the object, they are receiving a present. Now, decide which pronouns you would use here, and the sentence should be she gave them a present. Now we have one more example. Sarah and Mark fed the cat. Now as well find the nouns. The nouns will be Sarah and Mark and the cat. In this example, we have Sarah and Mark together because we have them doing the action together. And you should find the subject and the object of the sentence. Sarah and Mark are the subject, while the cat is the object. And the final sentence should be they fed it. Now we go on to the last part of this lesson. When do we use pronouns? Sada smo stigli do posljednje točke ove lekcije, to jest kada i zašto koristimo zamjenice u rečenicama. Glavna upotreba zamjenica je da kada govorimo o nekoj osobi ili predmetu, nije bitno, da ne bi cijelo vrijeme morali da ponavljamo ime te osobe ili predmeta, mi najčešće koristimo zamjenice. Zato što najčešće kada se govori o nečemu, u početku se pomene to o čemu se priča, a onda dalje ne ponavlja se ime osobe ili toga predmeta, već zna se o čemu se priča i onda se samo pominje tako što koristimo zamjenice. So, the pronouns are mainly used when we talk about something and instead of repeating ourselves and saying the name of the person or the object on and on again, we use pronouns because at the beginning we mentioned what we are talking about and then we do not want to repeat ourselves. Now let's see an example. We have here two sentences. So Sarah has always loved fashion. Sarah announced that Sarah wants to go to fashion school. In this case, it is obvious that all of this applies to one person, that is Sarah, but it is not that easy to understand it, even though it's about one person, because we have the name repeated a lot. Znači u ovom prvom primjeru možete vidjeti da iako je jasno da se priča o samo jednoj osobi, malo je teško da se razumije rečenica i ne izgleda i ne zvuči lijepo, zato što u ove kratke dve rečenice 3 puta se ponavlja osoba, to jest ime osobe o kojoj se priča. I to je glavni razlog zašto koristimo zamjenice. Sada da vidimo drugu rečenicu koja što bi trebalo da zvuči malo jasnije. So we have Sarah has always loved fashion. She announced that she wants to go to fashion school. In this second example, we have the same sentences from before. Just instead of saying Sarah 3 times, we said it once at the beginning, and then we used pronouns. This way, the sentence sounds much more clear. It is much more easier to say it and to understand it. So that is the reason why we use pronouns and when we use them. So we have come to the end of this lesson, and at the end I prepared some links for you so that you can practice all of this and see how well you understood it. Znači, za kraj pripremimo sam ovdje 4 vježbe koje posle ove lekcije treba da otvorite, da vidite koliko ste sve ovo razumjeli i da napravite jedan kratak tekst.